Hey, good morning. It's Maria back with another video. It's 10:06 a.m. and you know what? It's daylight savings time. I woke up this morning around 6 in the morning, which I thought was 6 o'clock in the morning because I went outside in my kitchen and my clock on my microwave said 6:30 or something like that. And then when I got back in my room and I looked at my cell phone, it was 7 o'clock and it's like, ding, okay, the time changed. So I wasn't even prepared for that. I didn't even see it coming. I got to change my clocks, my manual clock. So I hope you guys did too. This week I've been thinking about a lot of different things, and I've been appreciating the well performed tasks that a lot of people have been doing around me. So I think it was Friday, I got a call from the Department of Social Services. And I think I mentioned this in one of my videos before. Because of the gang stalking, which put me in a very vulnerable position. The position that I was working at ended abruptly when I was working out Buttonwillow, and obviously the plan was for me to go back to my ex-husband, which I would rather like kill myself before I would ever do something like that. But it basically put me in a very bad situation. My son was very kind to me, and he allows me to stay with him. And I do appreciate that, because he's a grown man and he doesn't need to sit here and have to, deal with his grown mother. And that was very kind, and I appreciated his help as much, as much as he could offer me, and I appreciate that a lot. But So that basically left me homeless. Okay, because I'm an adult, I'm not able to take care of myself, so I was receiving some assistance from the Department of Social Services, and I think there's a stigma attached to that, But a lot of people are put in situations such as myself where they need these benefits. Okay, this is beyond their control because even though some people thought that I wasn't qualified to do the kind of work that I do, I was willing to work at like a fast food joint, okay? Because I was doing everything I could to get back on my feet. And there's a lot of other people who are doing everything they can to get back on their feet, and they find themselves having to receive some sort of public assistance. I will tell you, I worked many years in my life, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I should be ashamed to get what basically I feel as though I've contributed to. Okay, I have worked very many years and suffered a lot. Okay, so if I need help, I'm going to go ahead and ask for it. Now, I don't think that people should become dependent on any sort of public assistance. But like I said, I tried and tried and tried to get back on my feet, but there was a system in place that was preventing me to do so. But I'm very grateful that I received this assistance. So when I started my job, I let the Department of Social Services know, hey, I'm working. I'm referring to, I think, CalFresh or whatever the name is. I let them know that I was working, and I sent them copies of my pay stubs and everything because I don't ever want to get involved with like any more misunderstandings. Once I am no longer in a position to receive benefits, I fully understand that. The lady from the Department of Social Services contacted me Friday to let me know that she did receive my letter because I tried to get through them over the phone, but I couldn't get through to them. So I wrote them a letter telling them, I am now working and whatever. And then she was following up with me, and I really appreciated her professionalism and her ability to empathize with people who are in a unfortunate situation. I know when I was back in the 90s, I knew two people who worked for um, the public assistance programs, and they treated the people with nothing but contempt. And they bragged about how they mistreated people. They bragged about this one lady. She was bragging about how, one of the recipients of these benefits was calling from a payphone. Remember back then we had to make phone calls through a payphone because they didn't have a phone in their home, and obviously cell phones they had them, but they were kind of rare. So sometimes they have to go to a payphone and make a phone call to the public assistance office, and they thought it was funny that they would sometimes hang up on the person and everything else. So when you think about people who work for like the county, or people who work in some sort of charitable type organization, The thing is that they don't really see, some of them don't see the point in providing customer service, because let's face it, if you're not happy with, like, AT&T, you can go to Verizon, you can go to some other service provider, okay? But when you're on public assistance and there's only one person, one group or organization is going to offer you some sort of assistance, you basically have to put up with a lot of abuse. And there's a lot of abuse that goes on in these public service places, because they know that they don't care. A lot of them don't care, and they do treat people with nothing but contempt, okay? And I appreciated this lady who spoke with me on Friday, and I want to just give a quick shout out to this particular person. I don't know if she'll ever see this video or anything like that, but it's appreciated, okay? Because I see that there's a lot of people who are broken. Like just yesterday, I was out at the 99-cent store. I can't stay away from that place. And I really didn't need, yeah, I did. I had to pick up some soap, okay? They do have the kind of soap that I use at the 99-cent store, okay? I could get it at Walmart, but I like buying it from there for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, I was at the 99-cent store, and there was a man who was homeless, and there's homeless people all over this town, okay? And there seems to be like this increasing number of homeless people. He was like with a shopping cart, and he was heading in my direction. And I usually don't have an issue with seeing homeless people. I usually kind of smile at them and just kind of go about my business. But this one looked like he was enraged. I mean, he was kicking, thrashing around and stuff like that, and he kept coming closer to me. So, as much as I feel for this person, I just got in my car and drove away, because I don't want him using me as a punching bag. He's probably angry at the world, and if he did try to punch me, it wouldn't be surprising, because there's a lot of people who are under extreme frustration right now. But I still feel compassion for this person, because it's a very frustrating situation to be in, especially right now, right? So I know that there's a lot of people who like to point the finger at people, and they kind of shrug them off and say things like, well, this person needs to get a job or whatever, or they put themselves in this situation. That's not always the case. And we don't really know what's going on in the lives of people. And maybe they did put themselves in that situation, but everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. And I'm not saying that this person made a mistake, or I don't know his whole story. I'm just saying is that, you know, I think everyone deserves a second chance. I mean, of course, if you didn't harm anybody, or you're not abusive to somebody, you didn't kill anybody, you didn't do anything too bad, then, I feel like everybody deserves a second chance. I don't know what that guy's problem was, or what happened to him, or whatever. But I do feel a sense of compassion for him, especially now that I've gone through so much. Like I feel more empathy towards people, like when I'm very sensitive to suffering of humans. Now, I'm not somebody who's a do-gooder who goes out and does a bunch of like charitable acts and stuff like that. I don't have the resources to do that, but I can feel their pain. You know what I mean? And that's important, in order to be able to really be of service. And there's a lot of narcissism um, that exist in public service places. People want to they want a job. They have the skills to fill that job, but they don't really have the patience or the concern for the recipients who are on these programs, okay? I am not proud of the fact that I was receiving public assistance, but on the other hand, I'm not ashamed of it either. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. So chances are, it's very likely that I will no longer be on that program. And that's what I was basically letting them know, that I probably won't be, and that they can go ahead and, disconnect me from the program. But you just have to update the county, okay? And of course, like so many other organizations, the phone lines are always busy. You cannot get through. I don't have all day, okay? Plus, I just started my job. I'm not going to sit here and be trying like dial their number during work hours all the time, trying to get to these people. So yeah, okay, I'm going to write a letter. So I did. And I'm very glad that she followed up. And I do want to say thank you for your assistance. Thank you for being so thorough and explaining everything to me. Thank you for providing all the options that were available. I appreciate it. Okay, and keep up the good work. And I hope that other people in the same type organizations, these public service companies who are supposed to help other people, are as helpful as you are. I appreciate your help. Anyway, so also I was thinking about women's issues as well. I know I've never been like a woman who got really into women's issues, and I never really thought of myself as, I mean, obviously I'm a woman, right? Okay, But like, I always thought that women's people who got into women's issues were like those real, women who were constantly talking about liberating women. They were kind of, I don't know what the word you want to use, not lesbians, but something close to it. That's what's always conjured up in my mind. Okay, but now that I've gone through this issue, I do see that this is an issue that affects a lot of women. And I remember when I first started realizing that I was being gang stalked. I mentioned in one of my videos that I went to a metaphysics shop here in the community, and I met with these people. This is group, and this lady was telling me that I guess she knew what was going on with me, just like everyone in the community knew what was going on with me, but I really didn't know. And I wasn't really going into the story because I didn't want to go into the whole thing that would happen to me with the farmer's place. But I remember saying, I think this was a racial issue. And she said, don't make this a racial issue, make this a woman's issue. And it is a racial issue. There's a lot of racial undertones to this whole issue, but I do see this as also as a women's issue. How society still in 2000, actually that I went to that meeting, and that whole issue with the farmer happened like in 2013. But even in the 2000s, right, even to this very day, it's like I see that still women have a very long way to go when it comes to asserting ourselves as individuals, as being respected as individuals. Okay, I think that there were so many things that I found offensive in this issue. And with the question that comes to my mind is, do women belong to ourselves? Or do we have, women have every right to be the individual people that we are. And a lot of women express their frustration of how we are constantly being judged and forced into these roles in the minds of people. Like if a woman decides to wake up one morning and she wears a dress, well then people are talking about her and everything like that. No, we have our own ideas. We have our own uh, likes and dislikes, and we have our own hobbies and our own interests. Okay, and it has nothing to do with men. Nothing. Like there's times where like I like to wear certain things, like I don't know, like I like to color coordinate my clothes. And I think just like putting some people, well, I don't have like any expensive art in my house, but some people like to decorate their house in a certain theme or whatever. It's about what's this word for it? I don't know, improving or whatever. You like color, you like to add color. I do, I love color. I love those things, and yeah, I'm a clothes enthusiast, okay? I do, I love clothes, okay? But it has nothing to do with that. And so women get tired of being joked at, being made fun of for our own individual choices. And basically, when people do those things and they say these things and they treat you like you don't, like everything that you do is somehow related to some other issue other than what's important to you, we feel dehumanized by it because we have the right to be who we are. And we don't need, it has nothing to do with men. We women can live independently from this idea. Like, I'm not saying that women can live independently from men, okay, because obviously we can't. We have to multiply and like whatever. But what I'm saying is, not everything relates to a woman wanting someone or whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, I love clothes. Now, some women have like a huge amount of shoes, handbags, and stuff like that. They have everything to coordinate every single thing. Okay, I don't have quite that extensive wardrobe. Okay, and I really don't like shopping for shoes, and I really don't like emphasizing my big feet. Okay, I really don't. So most of my shoes are rather plain. I do have some colorful shoes that have like little embroidery designs on it, because they were so unique and so cute, and they were cheap. They were like only $12, and they were so cute, and they're very comfortable. So I got those shoes, but it doesn't. It's just we look at certain things and it pleases us, so then we pursue these things. These are the things that we like to do. And when people say, well, then this is what you, it's basically saying this is what you're good for, woman. And that's how it pisses me off. It's like, no, we like these things. You know what I mean? I love nail polish. I'm going to tell you what, I love lipstick. I do. I love lipstick. When I was 13 years old, my birthday, my mom said, okay, you're old enough to wear lipstick now. And I'm going to give you a few dollars, and you can go down the store and get some. I remember getting 3 tubes of lipstick, and I was just so ecstatic. Like, I got this purple color. It was really chic too. And then I got this red color, and then the whatever color, whatever. And I loved it because, like, and every time I wear red or green or whatever, I get so excited to, match. I like matching my lipstick. And I also like, when I wear green or blue, I don't like a lot of blue around my eyes, but I do like the eyeliner. There's just a little bit of blue to kind of bring out and to blend with it's about, some people love art, fashion, or style or whatever, and it's not related to male attention. It's not. Now, I think I talked about the difference between being provocative and being just a well dressed person. You know what I mean? I think some women do want deliberate male attention. And for those women who are on the prowl, hey, more power to you. Seriously, more power to you. You do what you need to do. Okay, but do not confuse the two, and do not define the roles of what a woman is and what she can do and how she thinks and how she's supposed to be in 2021. You know, stop cutting the lives short of women and cutting our enjoyment out of life because you want to play fucking games. That pisses me off. So as I'm older now, I do see things more like from the perspective of a woman. And I remember meeting this lady many years ago online, and she was another minority woman. She wasn't a black woman, but we were talking about the idea of reincarnation. Like, if you had the ability to come back, what would you come back as? And I really would come back as myself. I would come back myself, but I would have a better family. They would be far more understanding, and they would have been more supportive towards me. Okay. That's the only thing I would change. Okay. But she was saying she would want to be a man, and she would want to be a white man. And I understand white men have fucking all the power. I mean, they do, right? They do. But in my mind, I love being a woman. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the ability that we have to create for ourselves. I like the way that we have this. And now I know some people think, well, I'm not intuitive, not like you, Maria, but we do have far greater abilities to be intuitive if you allow yourself the chance to open up your mind more. Okay, there's too much beauty in being a woman than for me to ever desire being a man. I'm not a power seeker. I've never been like an earthly power seeker. You know what I mean? I'm just somebody who likes to make things. Arts and crafts is one of the things I like to do. I love color. So anytime I can add color into my life, I'm happy to do that. That's what I love to do. You know what I mean? And no, I'm not somebody who wants to do it professionally. It's just a part of who I am. You know what I mean? And women have aspects to our personality that still in 2021, people are trying to beat down and tell them what they're supposed to do. We don't have to explain why we do it because we felt like it. That's why. You know what I mean? I used to think that response was rude. Like, if somebody asked you, well, why did you do that? And somebody would respond, because I felt like it. I used to think that was kind of rude. No, that is a proper response, because you are, as an individual, you are a free human being who has the right to live their lives as they wish and as they want to. And we don't need to be harassed. We don't need to be mocked, and we don't need to be poked fun of. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I now see what this woman was talking about at that meeting. It is a woman's issue. Yes, it is a race issue. It's also a religious issue, but there's a lot of women's issues in this. You know what I mean? And I get tired of people like shaming women. Women are shamed into a box of where they become afraid to exert who they are. They're afraid to, because they're afraid of what other people are going to think. Well, as far as I know, maybe there's reincarnation. Maybe we're coming back. We might go to heaven. It might be the end of that, and we just become angels, or I don't know exactly what our afterlife destination is, but we have to make the best of this life that we know. Okay, and we need to stop letting people do this bullshit to us. It's bullshit, and it pisses me off. You know what I mean? I think my dad must have noticed that I was people used to call me a feminist. My dad called me a feminist when I was a kid. And I was like, I don't relate to that word. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't see myself as a feminist because I don't see myself like, rallying for women to play like professional football or anything like that. I don't see myself that way. But I do see that even to this day, women are treated like garbage. And we are, constantly being directed, and everything that we do is supposed to relate to a man um, holding the strings to our fate and everything else. And it's bullshit. I'm sorry, it is, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to shake up the social order of things, okay? And I just because I choose not to get married myself doesn't mean that I'm poo-pooing people's marriage, okay? I'm not doing that. Okay, if you feel as though you want to get married, you want to partner with somebody, and you want to have a family, that's not a bad thing. Okay, we're supposed to multiply. Okay, not everybody should multiply. We have already talked about this. Okay, because there's some abusive people out there who have no business having children. But I'm just saying is that for some women, whatever a woman's choice is, it's her choice. You know what I mean? And no matter what, it's like people need to kind of mind their own business and respect the will of the individual. You know what I mean? And if that's not her choice, respect it. Respect it and let it go. You know? Yeah, and so also that I was taught thinking about, of course, the abuse of women, because that led into the whole issue of how women are abused. Like in this situation, I was dealing with a stalker and people thinking that it's okay because this is her ex-husband or whatever, and then we end up getting abused. We constantly, they feel society is pushing women back into abusive relationships that they shouldn't be in. You know what I mean? Women have rights. We have rights, and they should be respected. Okay? Women should be able to stand on our feet if we need to, and their answer is not always marriage. That is not the answer to a lot of people's problems. Okay, in my situation, I was abused by my blood relations. I was abused by my ex-husband, and apparently his family enjoyed the abuse as well. And then, of course, because they had a position of power, imagined power, but whatever, brainwashed people will follow and go along with what just about anything, which I've come to know and learn and experience for myself. Um, so, where does that leave the woman? And so they're conjuring that, well, her option is, she needs to get married. No. Okay. Women in my position who don't have a strong social support system cannot allow herself to be dependent on somebody who could possibly abuse her. You know what I mean? And this is the problem. And then they'll think, oh, well, you know what? She wears wigs, and she's always styling and profiling, so she obviously is trying to get a man. No, I'm not. I'm trying to enjoy my life. Okay? Because among all this shitty crap that's going on, people like, getting abused, me dealing with my own issues, watching people suffer, all this other stuff, I'm trying to find a small piece of happiness among hell, is what I'm trying to do. And clothes is one of the things that makes me happy. It does, okay? But I do think people need to talk more about these issues, and we need to consider women as human beings in 2021, and it's like long overdue, seriously. So anyway, those were my thoughts this weekend. I just wanted to kind of fill you in on what I've been up to, and yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I have been thinking about I go through these like mood swings. There's times where I just want to get the hell out of Dodge. Like, I just want to be by myself. And there's times where I go through these cycles where I want to have like long conversations, and it's fluctuating, and it's kind of normal because I went through something that was very traumatizing. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of other targeted individual women, and as well as black women and other targets in general. But when it comes to this women's issue, because we're going to focus on the women's issue first, okay? When it comes to this, they're in a state of shock. They're in a state of shock that this kind of stuff is happening to them. You know what I mean? And what people need to realize is that this is wrong. Okay? There are women who need safety. There are women who need protection. There are women who need to be safe from their abusers. And when you have communities that are kind of, basically you're playing a woman's life for sport is what you're doing. And they don't realize it. There was a post, I just wanted to say this really quick before I wrap this video up. There was a post on Facebook, and one that someone from a member of one of the groups I belong to on Facebook posted about this. It was a Reddit article. I don't know if you guys ever heard. I'm sure you guys have heard of Reddit before, but you probably don't really look up gang stalking information. But this particular article, or this, I don't know, blog or whatever you want to call it, was from a person who participated in gang stalking. He was convinced by one of his friends online to join in on a harassment campaign against another person. Okay? And he said that this went on for like a very long time, almost 10 years. That they not only participated in cyberbullying, but he participated in putting a harassment type campaign in this man's community where he worked, where he lived. Okay, so like when he would go to work, when he would go whatever, same thing with me, where I had to deal with all this bullshit, right? Well, years later, he realized that it was wrong, and he didn't realize that the guy that he was harassing was basically being seen because he had tried to commit suicide. He had no idea that he was, this little joke and his little favorite pastime was something that was quite deadly. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's like people need to understand that this sort of stuff is wrong. It's wrong. Okay? And people need to wake up, before, and it's already happened. Okay? People have committed suicide all the time. They do it all the time. Or some people have gone postal. They go into their jobs or whatever and they just start blasting everybody off. Okay? Whatever the case is, it's a barbaric act. Okay? And if you want to progress in life when it comes to how to deal with other people, if you want to expand your horizons, if you want to open up your mind a little bit, you need to understand that not only does it go against the law, it's a moral issue, and it really should be a religious issue about trying to, how could I say this, it's about the love of mankind. Like, it's wrong to do these things. Okay, it just is. Okay, so anyway, I'm tired and I just want to wrap this video up, but I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope all TIs are staying safe, and I'll be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye-bye.